And now I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. How's it going? And yeah. We're just gonna give it a small second. I'm gonna wait for a little bit of people to come in before I start talking. Cause I hate repeating myself. But long story short, today we're gonna talk about the mental programs. The mental programmer. And I don't need my notebook for this one. I don't need a book for this one. This is gonna be all off the motherfucking dome. Because quite frankly, when you have the knowledge and you understand it, you don't really need reference points anymore. You don't really need mental crutches anymore. You are very versed in the alchemy, the mental alchemy, and quite frankly, the mental gymnastics that takes place every fucking day. So with that being said, let's talk about the mental programs that we have accepted, put our energy into, and have developed aggregoric entities off of. The man-made concepts, the man-made beliefs, the ideas that actually intellectually trap you instead of physically, mentally, and on a metaphysical plane can actually propel you. A lot of these mental ideas, a lot of these mental programs, in all reality, they're just here to occupy your fucking mind. When you think about school, when you think about work, you think about conspiracy theories, you think about the institutions like religion, you think about the institutions like politics and bureaucracy, you start to realize that the number one currency on this planet is your attention. Your emotional or your mental attention. Your emotional or mental energy. That is the biggest fucking form of currency on the planet. And nothing is free. We all even have to pay attention, right? So it starts off real fucking young. It starts off real little. A lot of people think that the program that they know as the ideal self-image, they think they got it from TV, they think they got it from school, a friend, a favorite teacher, when in reality, the very first program that you're exposed to, that's forced upon you, you were raised in, and it came from your parents and your family traditions. Now, that might be a hard fucking pill to swallow for a lot of individuals who don't, in a nutshell, face the shadow. Just kind of ignore what's actually happening right in front of you. And by ignoring what's actually happening right in front of you, you mentally and intellectually comply. You start to actually believe these lies that have been forced upon you. You start to actually believe these stories, these concepts that you didn't ask for. You were born into them. And based off of these programs that you were born into, that you were raised into, it causes an individual on a cognitive level, on a developmental level, to develop a ego, a archetype energy, an elemental energy, a personality, and a residual image of self, an imaginary image of self that echoes and connects to the true core self, deep in the soul. That is undying and ancient, immortal, primordial energy. So, you comply to these belief systems. You comply to the mental programs and concepts that were given to you, right? For example, the whole black, white thing. Not realizing people aren't colors. People aren't colors. In fact, the only white people you actually see are albino. Most people vary from peach, khaki, brown undertones. Even the blackest person you see is actually a very deep, dark brown complexion. Everybody's brown, either light brown or dark brown. Nobody is these colors that we speak of. But we grew up and we've been groomed and put in this mental program to identify as, oh, I'm white. Oh, I'm black. I'm a Negro. I'm African American. I'm Indian. I'm Hispanic. Not because that's what we know. Not because that's what's been studied. But because that's what we've been told. So since that's what we've been told, that's what you become. Because your mind's going to make it real. The minute you intellectually agree with an idea, your mind makes it real. Even if it's not your idea, it makes it real. And in a nutshell, when it comes to belief systems, they're actually feeding systems. I don't give a fuck if you are a Hebrew Israelite. I don't care if you are a magical voodoo hoodoo practitioner. I don't give a fuck if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Catholic, Hindu, Buddha, any of the dharmic religions. At the end of the day, these things are a feeding system. A feeding system. And what you're feeding is a thought form, a aggregoric entity. Some people call them topas. Some people call them the demiurge. Some people call them angels. Some people call them demons. It is a interdimensional, energetic force that has no physical form. Okay? And it will aid you because you believe in it. And it will punish you because you believe in it. Why? Because their existence depends upon your belief and worship in the entity. So, of course, if you're feeding something in these belief systems that are all mental programs, you have to understand you're feeding something with your mental energy. You're feeding something with your emotional energy. Yum, 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 yum. They're going to eat that shit up. And then once they eat it up, and your belief in their existence, further making them stronger. This is how the whole concept of gods and goddesses in mythology becoming a physical being. These things are not physical beings. They're not real people. They are symbolic references of the archetypal energy and the elemental energy that exist inside of all people. Let me give you an example. The whole body, the entire human body, is all the zodiac signs. And every body part, for example, the knees are under the rule of Saturn. And every body part is under the rule of a particular planetary energy that also exists inside of you. Just how the thighs are Sagittarius and the head is Aries. Every main body part, every functioning body part down to the torso is an archetypal elemental energy of the zodiac. And there's even things inside of the body. And the true adepts, the ascended masters, what they did in order to lose the oral traditions was they told the story of self. They told the story of ascension with symbols and fictional characters. All true, but you see, the mythology is written so you can decode the symbol and release the energy inside of you to know how to take action, not to obsess and intellectualize and act like, oh, I'm Horus. Horus isn't real. Horus is an energy. Jesus is coming back. Jesus isn't real. Jesus is an energy. Oh, that was the devil. The devil isn't fucking real. The devil is an energy. There's only one energy. There's only one force on this planet. Okay? Some people call it the universe. Some people call it the Most High. Some people call it Allah. Some people call it Buddha. All I'm saying is there's only one fucking energy. And with the use of that energy will either make you God or the devil. With that one energy, how you choose to use and vibrate with this one primordial ancient energy that animates all things, that is inside every man, woman, and child, every rock, tree, blade of grass, and animal, but yet no man, woman, or child has seen this force. It's a eternal energy and an internal presence that is expressed through mythological stories, that is expressed through zodiacs and astrology, that is expressed through biology and earth science. And this ancient force, this ancient energy, everybody has the ability to tap into it. We do all the time. We co-create with this force and this energy all the fucking time. But you see, the problem is if you vibrate high, you're in the God energy. If you vibrate low, you're in the so-called devil's energy. But there's only one energy. There's only one force. There isn't anybody pulling the fucking strings here. Nobody is in control over you but yourself. The mind is all and the universe is mental. The mind is all and the universe is mental. The mind is the all and the all is the mind. That doesn't just, it includes everything physical you can see and feel and touch and experience in this realm. Ancient texts told you that we all exist in the divine mind of God. But you see, the funny thing is about that nobody seems to like connect and see the bigger picture of is the fact that would make us a thought form made manifest, right? So again, let's talk about something for a second. The three bodies of man, the middle, the lower, and the upper, symbolized and referenced throughout all sacred texts as Asgard, Midgard, and Hell, as heaven, earth, and hell. You see, that's truly the head, the cranium and its divine contents, the spinal column, and the reproductive organs of the male and female gender. You have the power of life and death in your reproductive organs. Jacob's ladder, the stairway to heaven, is your spinal column. And Mount Zion, the most high place, the Dead Sea, the River Jordan, the Nile River, you all have that stream of water that goes up to the high place, the spinal column. Why do you think every temple, every palace is fashioned after like the likeness of a human body? Why do you think the pulpit where every deacon, pastor, and preacher teach their sermons in the church or the cathedral is fashioned after the divine contents of the human brain? Because the mind is all and the universe is mental. And thoughts become things. You see, your thought is followed by light. Light. Now, what is light on an esoteric level? Well, simply put, light would be consciousness. So whenever someone says, "Oh, I'm developing my light body," thinking it's a real physical fucking thing. No, dummy. You're developing your conscious body. You're heightening your conscious awareness, developing an internal inner relationship with the soul by tapping into the spirit of the being which is expressed as the personality type you call yourself. There is nobody pulling fucking strings here. The problem arises when people are fed lies to divide and conquer. The problem arises when people are traditionally groomed to believe concepts that have been man-made, developed in the thought forms over time, which just grow stronger, and the presence festers, developing them into an agregoric presence, a demiurgic presence. Well, go on after day. Just for you to realize, oh, these things have all been created and made manifest now. We have all these tulpas around us in particular industries like, let's say, for example, big pharma, commercial restaurants, commercial grocery stores, your corporate job, all these corporations. Why do you think they call them corporate entities? You see, because there's a thought behind it. There's a logo behind it. There's a symbol behind it. And all those things create thoughts and energies in motion. You know, emotions, which make people want to buy and participate in this corporate entity, this demiurgic force, this archonic agregoric force that has been created and collectivized over generations based upon the mental and emotional energy of the people, feeding it, developing further belief on this corporate entity, making it stronger, making it more influential. Now do you understand the power that the church has over America? Now are you understanding the power that the Zionists and Marxist Jews have over America? Now are you understanding the blatant whitewashing of all cultures and civilizations? Not just Africans, but Spaniards and Mexicans and Indians and Afroasiatic Asians? Everyone. Why? Why would you change the story and change the narrative and get a group of people to believe a certain way unless this is powered by a corporate entity? Oh yeah, that's right. This isn't a nation. We live in a corporation. We live in a business, don't we? So how do you keep the business running? You make people believe in the business. You make people believe in the business. You make people put all their thoughts and emotions into the business, the corporation, right? Okay, I rest my fucking case. So, in a nutshell, stop feeding the mental programs. If you really want this shit to stop, they say it's a game, right? They say it's a simulation, right? How do you get a game to stop? You put the controller down, don't you? You're the controller. Are you the influenced or are you the influencer? Are you the consumer or are you the consumed? Are you the producer or the fucking product? Because where energy goes, attention flows, does it not? Where energy goes, attention flows, does it not? So I pose the question, what have you been giving your fucking energy and attention to lately? Because if it's not beneficial or conducive to you, your family, your livelihood, or your journey, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here? Because, you see, everybody wants to talk enlightenment. Everybody wants to talk self-development, but still be detached and dependent on systems and thought forms and mental programs that are not beneficial to anyone. regardless of what you believe in, regardless of where you come from or your fucking ethnicity. Nobody is white. Nobody is black. All these things are titles, stipulations, and legal statuses that are used to divide and conquer the people. Why? So they could develop their own traditions and their own beliefs that continue to feed the corporate entity. And y'all keep on thinking I'm playing. Y'all don't understand how important etymology really fucking is, do you? How maritime law, the laws of the water, also apply to people, money, and the banking system in America. Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all just hear some hot shit, and y'all be like, yo, that was so real. That was so true. Damn. Don't do any fucking cross-referencing. Don't do any fucking meditation. Don't even read a goddamn book. You just take everything at the surface fucking level. And here's the problem. Here's the problem with taking things at the surface level, guys. There's 3 layers to an agenda. You have the public agenda, the narrative they demonstrate and tell everybody, and everyone who's slow just complies and believes that that's part of the plan. And then you have something called the hidden agenda. The hidden agenda are the ones that the so-called conspiracy theorists, when they're actually truth speakers, go on and actually uncover and tell the truth about and find out and blow the whistle and try to tell everybody. But guess what? There's still another layer of the agenda that nobody will ever know or uncover until maybe 10 years after the person's dead, in the form of a symbolic movie reference or a goddamn book deal, if we're lucky. You believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. How many of us have heard this before? But yet, how many actively practice our due diligence? You see, everyone's like, I want that real. Give me something real. Give me something honest. Let's expose these motherfuckers. And then you have a person like me coming on the internet, actually giving you real, actually teaching you stuff, giving you things you can apply. If you don't believe me, go check out my account and look at all my various lessons, meditations, and mental exercises. On top of the knowledge I provide. Almost 40,000 followers. 4 viewers watching this live. You guys don't want that fucking real. You just say that you do. It's called cognitive dissonance. Now, what is cognitive dissonance? Basically the same thing as insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result, by definition, is insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result, by definition, is insanity. So, cognitive dissonance is developmentally knowing something is wrong and that you should do better, but consciously your actions are doing what you know you shouldn't do and what you know better than, even though you know it's wrong. On a cognitive thinking level, you know you shouldn't be doing it. You know this isn't what you like. You know this is bad for you. On a conscious beta brainwave level, you're still gonna participate in this shit. And that's the majority of the planet. Screaming, oh, we want justice, free our people, freedom, expose them. Meanwhile, you're not the producer, you're the product. You're actually being influenced. You're not influencing shit. You're actually being influenced. And that's the fucking problem. So excuse me while I roll a blunt. And for you 5 people in here, if you have any questions, comments, or remarks, go ahead and drop it there. And I will answer them. Because I'm not an asshole. I'm not a person who thinks I'm better than somebody. I'll actually listen to you and hear you out. So now's your time to speak. Because I'm going to roll a blunt. And don't be scared. I'm not a person who talks down on people or fucking humiliates people. I just speak the truth. And sometimes the truth might be a bit uncomfortable. but that doesn't disregard the fact that it's true. Thoughts, questions, comments? I'm gonna be rolling a blunt, and I don't like stale, quiet fucking content. So please engage. I don't like stale, quiet content. Engage. Questions, comments? Just rolling up some weed here. It's what I do. It's what I do best. Thank you, spirit of the ganja, for allowing me to tap in to the knowledge realm. Let this spirit of this sacred herb bless me. Grant me access to the higher realms and planes of consciousness as I am protected by the smoke of the guardians. And so it is. Yep. Oh, so y'all pussy. Got it. Cool. Alright, well, here's the when we're gonna talk about a mental program, here's the first mental program. If you don't know anything, don't say anything. Guys, the only dumb question is the question that you don't ask. That's the only stupid question. And technically, it's not even a question because you didn't ask. And you know, as an indigenous copper-colored person, you know, we got this saying, us dark-skinned brown people, we like to say a closed mouth don't get fed. So, drop a question, drop a comment, or keep your mouth closed. You won't get fed. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not one of these motherfuckers out here who's finna play with anybody. One thing I don't do is play on the internet. I don't troll. I know how to. I don't come on the internet and make false claims and lie. If I'm rich, if I'm broke, you'll never know. I don't post content and flex a luxurious lifestyle. I am strictly dealing with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, turning practical things into workable teachings, turning advanced things into workable teachings. That's what I do. I know a little bit of things about a lot of stuff. And well, quite frankly, since I break the narrative so goddamn much and challenge all these stupid fucking mental programs that people just love to comply with, even though it's not beneficial to anybody, because like, if it was actually beneficial, why has America rapidly declined since these fucking mental programs have been forced upon everybody? Wouldn't it be improving? Okay, so clearly these mental programs are fucking useless and counterproductive to anybody who isn't critically or clinically insane or has developed a form of cognitive dissonance. We're gonna make this shit make sense, people. They be like, the moon is a satellite. The moon is a soul harvesting trap. You only see one side of the moon. Bitch, you only see one side of the sun. I ain't never hear nobody say the sun is a fucking moon trap. Nah, y'all just go ahead and believe all the heliocentrism, all the heliocentrism that came from the Helios theory and be fucking sun worshippers. Like all the other people who have been tricked and swindled to believe and worship one side of the story when there are two sides of the story. We have a moon for a reason, people. The moon controls and influences all the waters and the menstrual cycle of females for a reason, people. All ancient civilizations had 28 days and 13 months and followed the ancient turtle shell because it goes off of the lunar cycle, people. Not no fucking solar cycle, is there? The sun just the sun. Ain't no different sun phases, now is there? But the moon got all these different phases, shapes, and sizes and colors. Oh, okay. You gotta critically think. You gotta question the narrative. You see, they got y'all afraid of fucking symbols. A tool. Let me tell you something. There is no end-all, be-all anything. There's no end-all, be-all fucking spell. There's no end-all, be-all book. There is no end-all, be-all ritual. There's nothing that you can do or practice or read that's gonna make you a fucking expert at anything overnight. Okay? You're gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to do some shit. You're gonna have to put some fucking time in. And develop your skills within yourself, which includes developing your own spells, your own rites, your own systems of decoding things. You can't constantly piggyback off of the ideas and perspectives of another person, because then you're just becoming a micro minion of that person and going further away from your actual journey as an individual, which you incarnated or reincarnated in this present lifetime to express and go through as a spirit. To wake up your eternal soul, return back home as the completed flaw, clear of karma, to elevate to a higher realm of consciousness with the whole soul instead of the fragmented piece, the fragmented flaw known as the personality. Here, trying to wake up the spirit so that it can express the soul. That's what your journey is. That's what your mission is. Whatever calls to your spirit, whatever, you see, let's talk about art for a second. What is art? You see, because art is an ancient acronym. The A stands for A, the R stands for ritual, and the T stands for tool. Art is a ritual tool. A ritual tool in which a spirit in the creative vibration is expressing the idea or the concept on a conscious level of this individual's personal idea journey. Again, expressing this creative idea through the soul, tapping into the conscious mind, rather it be a painting, music. Because, let's see, you got martial arts, you got musical arts, theater, arts, performing, arts. When a man and a woman love each other very much, they get together. And, sometimes babies are made. And that's art. A ritual tool. Now, here's where things get sticky about art. You see, art is the key word that you find in heart. Art is the key word that you find in earth. Art is the key word that you find in water. Now, what does water, earth, and the heart all have in common? Well, in esoteric circles, the heart is a vortex, not a pump, that filters the waters within the body and turns it into blood and plasma and keeps, your internal being running and operating as it should. The heart is the treasure in the chest. right? And in letterology, heart equals 4. Just like there's the heart chakra, the 4th chakra, and the color is green. You know, and something interesting about the color green. The color green in letterology also equals 4. Just how heart equals 4, right? And in anime and in certain movies and in certain circles, souls are usually depicted as green, right? Etheric forces are usually depicted green, right? Now, how does that tie to water? Well, water is inside the body and outside the body and above you and below you. Again, inside of you and outside of you, right? Water is the giver of all life. Water can give life. Water can take it away. Water can be gentle. Water can be strong. The water is in the blood. The water is in the air. The water is everywhere. And water equals 22 in letterology. 2 plus 2 is 4, connecting it back to the heart. Now, what word is in water that's also in heart? Art, right? Now, how does that connect to earth? Well, it's been said that the earth has a wobble or a heartbeat, just like we do. It's been said that our high vibration of the mind and the eternal waters produce a Merkaba-like torus field or aura around the body with each pump, just how each heartbeat or wobble on the Earth's magnetosphere produces electromagnetic energy, causing a aura-like torus field around our planet. Again, showing a reference of above and below, how the earth works and operates just like the heart. How much water is on earth? How much water is on earth? How much water is above earth and on earth and below earth? Because it's been scientifically proven that there's 400 times more water in outer space than there is on our planet. When almost 70% of our planet is water. So now you see the earth-water connection. And earth is 4. In letterology, earth is 4. Earth is represented as green and blue. Green is 4 in letterology. The heart chakra is green. Water in letterology is 22, a master number. 2 plus 2 is 4. Just like earth and green. What's the key word of water and heart and earth? Art, A-R-T, a ritual tool. When a spirit is expressed in a creative matter in a conscious way. You're expressing your spirit by playing your music. You're expressing your spirit by fighting your martial art. You're expressing your spirit by playing your sport. You're expressing your spirit by dancing your dance. You're expressing your spirit by painting your picture, or better yet, by making a fucking baby. These are ritual tools. Or as some people would like to put it, an art form. And it just happens to be the key word. And it connects with letterology and numerology and geometria. Oh, I forgot to mention that gnosis and mind and spirit and letterology also all equal 22, just like water. Which means they also connect to 4. Just like earth and heart and green. Are you starting to see the fucking picture? Follow your heart. The mind is not your brain. The mind is spirit. The mind is an unseen force. You see, When you die, the soul leaves. And the only activity that is left, that has also been scientifically proven, is the activity of the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is active up until the point of nobody remembering you. So the true death isn't when the organic flesh deteriorates. The true death in this auto realm we call Earth deteriorates when the mind, the spirit, the waters are no longer remembered. What's that song in that Disney movie? Coco? Remember me, though I have to say goodbye, remember me. Why do we build ofrendas on Dia de los Muertos? Why do we build ancestral altars and voodoo and hoodoo and conjure and Ifa? Why do we show ancestral veneration in Ethiopian Christianity and Hebrew Israelite traditions? Why is the year of the wood snake 2025 a 9-year classified as the year of ancestral veneration? Starting to make sense yet? Why they need you at war with each other? Why men have to be against women? Why women have to be against men? Why the young have to be against the old? Why Democrats against Republicans? Why Christians are against Muslims? And why Muslims are against Christians? And why Israel is against Palestine? And Palestine is against Israel? And why America is against everybody who isn't pale? They have to weaponize your mental and emotional energy. It's the most valuable currency on this planet. Why do you think they weaponize social media and spread fake news and systematically have Zionist Jews and paid agents who work for the 3-letter corporations to be what I like to call disguised as an influencer or a content creator to push a narrative and gatekeep certain information? And you think I'm lying? Why did Malcolm X say it in the 1970s? Why was Tupac killed the minute he tried to leave death row and realized the majority of the record labels, the majority of the music industry were controlled, influenced by Marxist Zionist Jews? Why was JFK assassinated when he was spilling the beans about the Zionist Jews, who are actually, by the way, not Nazi Jews? It's a political party, no different than the radical political parties of the KKK movement or the Black Panthers, which were systematically shut down and destroyed. But Zionists and Marxists are okay because anyone who attacks them is an anti-Semite, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Are you starting to see the fucking picture yet? Are you getting it? How Facebook, YouTube, Google, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat are all controlled and purchased by Jews? And they say they don't run the media? When if you go to a neighborhood full of them, they have their own mailman. They have their own food. It's called kosher. They have their own lawyers. They have their own doctors. They have their own special schools. If anyone else does that, it's called racism. It's called elitism or exhibiting supremacy. But when they do it, it's okay because they're Jewish. And anyone who questions it is an anti-Semite. What's the Jewish fashion? Why are Jews so fascinated and infatuated with black people? I mean, Jerry Heller and Eazy-E, Jimmy Iovine and Mariah Carey and P. Diddy and all the others. Why is there always a rich Jew pushing up a poor black person only to watch them self-destruct? And also capitalize off of their culture. And then play the victim and use the poor white person as the scapegoat to further push a narrative and make black people and white people against each other. When America was actually owned by the indigenous Negro Indian and the German Tartarian. Let me say that again. America was originally owned by the indigenous American Indian and the German Tartarians. Oh yeah, that's right. We're not supposed to talk about that. I'm supposed to be a descendant of a slave, even though slave comes from Slav, meaning Slavic, and I've never seen a black Slav a day in my life. Slovak people were usually of Turkish, Khazarian, Polish, Irish descent, Swedish descent, right? Right? Why does the Pope kiss the Moors' feet? Why do the Moors push paperwork in a system that's not beneficial for? Oh yeah, that's right, because the Moors use politics and paperwork to get their narrative across, the same way the colonizers use religion to get their agenda across. Same fucking people. Why do you think the Moors wear fez and the Shiners wear fez and keep on acting like they don't know each other? And they keep on trying to trick people like, oh yeah, get your status correction. Go ahead and get your affidavit. You're indigenous. How do you claim sovereignty with paperwork in a system that's not built for you? Make that work. When they're doing all this deporting right now, they're trying to trick people into getting deported. You see, my ancestors were already in America. I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking running. I'm not fucking hiding. This is my land, right where I stand. The enemy ain't Saudi. The enemy is around me. And unfortunately, I refuse to comply to the mental programs and the fucking lies and stipulations that are, quite frankly, held against me, forced upon me, and I'm just supposed to take it like, oh yeah, that's real. Oh yeah, that's real, that's true. Thanks for the follow. When did I start to open my eyes? I'll never forget it. I really had my first spiritual awakening. It was either June, July 2005, about 20 years ago. I was about 8 years old, and my dad had showed me this lecture of a guy named Yahweh ben Yahweh. And yeah, that was pretty much the day I opened my eyes. Love hearing things like this. I'm new to social media, but I can relate heavy with this. I am just enjoying your content, my brother. Well, thank you, Orion. I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than you know. More than you know. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for joining. 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 Interesting to hear you speak. I only started following you very recently. Currently listening while I cook for my kids. Alright, handle your business. Handle your business, man. Father duties first. My kids are at school right now. My daddy duties are off at the moment, so I'm good to go. I appreciate that. But I had my first spiritual awakening when I was about 8 years old. About 20 years ago. The year was 2005. Then my second spiritual awakening happened around my 13th birthday. I had experienced something that let me know that there is a world I cannot see around me. And ever since then, I've pretty much just been tapping into it, because science will show you, history will tell you that we are dealing with only 0.001 of the spectrum when we use our physical eyes. There is a whole entire world, a whole entire universe which we are around and interacting with, but we cannot see. We cannot feel it physically, but energetically. I'm not the only one who knows when someone's behind, when someone's watching, when someone's listening, when there's something there. Even though you don't see something there, you feel that shit. I'm not the only one who knows when it's gonna rain before it actually rains. I can't be the only one who thinks of a song and then it's playing, or thinks of a movie and now it's on TV, or thinks of a person and now they're texting me. I can't be the only one. In this big old world, there's no fucking possible way I'm the only one these things happen to. I just refuse to believe it. Now, some people might not want to talk about it, and I completely understand that. That might make some people a little bit uncomfortable. But that doesn't dismiss the fact that it's true. That doesn't dismiss the fact that it's real. And when it comes to knowledge, wisdom, understanding, overstanding, and understanding, and how to apply these things, you have to break it down into chunks and use it on a practical level. You take the good, you leave the bad. But most importantly, it's about craftiness. How are you going to tweak this and make it yours? Don't try to be Brother Panic. Don't try to be Bobby Hemmett. Don't try to be Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Don't try to be none of the witches on Instagram. How can you use this, transform it, make it conducive to you? That's magic. This is a personal journey, an individual development. So how are you going to develop as an individual, taking another person's shit, doing another person's teachings? Take the good, leave the bad, because you're not going to know everything. That's why that's why we make content. That's why there's lectures. That's why people write books, so you can get a general idea of the topic and further the study. But ultimately, what do you think meditation is for? What do you think the imagination is for? You see, the mind makes it real the minute you hold an image in your mind longer than 30 seconds. So imagine if you're meditating on something, concentrating on something, eyes closed, full imagination for 30 minutes. You're going to get the answers that I seek, aren't you? Because you're going within instead of constantly searching outside of you. You see, this world is controlled by your deductive reasoning and your logical thinking. That is not conducive to your health. You see, you can't logically think your way into or out of spirituality or the unknown, the unseen forces. It's not logical. It's not rational. It's very illogical. Some of the time, the most real things, the truest stuff you encounter and come to a knowing of are going to sound quite ridiculous when you try to translate it with English. It's not going to make sense. It's going to sound fucking crazy. But that doesn't mean that it's not true. You see, most of the truths that we know have been put on us. 100 years ago, everybody knew the world was flat. 30 years ago, everybody knew that there was no such thing as gluten. But now, look, there's new sciences, there's new information coming out every day. So the things that you think you know were actually just being exposed as a belief, a mental program that was either forced upon you or taught to you, not developed by you for you. By the time you turn 18, you leave your parents' house, you're going to realize that everything you think you are, everything you hold to be yourself is actually a thought, a mental program, or a belief, or what I like to call a mental concept that was pushed on you, developed on you, or that you were raised on as a family tradition. It's not who you are. You have to figure out who you are. Some people go soul searching with drugs. Some people do it with sports, exercise, religion, spirituality. At the end of the day, most of these things are psychological. In fact, the whole term shadow work is a psychology term. You cannot get what you want out of life without changing your behavior to a certain extent. This has nothing to do with anything esoteric. This is just mental. Some people have a fucking mental illness. Well, go on. Some people just have a fucking mental illness. That doesn't make you crazy because you see the fucking mental illness in this world. Something is very wrong here. I could work on helping you. Tell me your problem. I might be able to. I don't want to say I can because I'm not a guru. But I do know some shit. So holla at me. You see, some people in life, they don't understand how powerful their mind really fucking is. I didn't understand how powerful my mind fucking was until I started to conduct my own study on my mind. And the more I started to just focus and dive headfirst, lock in on my study, instead of all the distractions of the world, certain things start to, yeah, you can message me. Certain things started to align for me without the praying, without the affirmations, just keeping a positive mindset, just maintaining my vibration and moving forward. Sometimes the only thing you can do in life is move forward. You're not cursed. You're not hexed. The secret societies aren't following you. Trust me, you'd be dead if they were. The government isn't messing with you. Most of the time, these are like self-made problems that can be fixed. But due to the information out in the world that we participate in and intellectually agree with, the mind makes it real. So you're going to start to see certain things in your reality pop up because that's where you're putting your attention. So since that's where your attention's going, that's where all your energy is going to flow to. And due to the law of attraction, what you put out, you will get back. What you pay attention to will become your reality. It also connects with the law of correspondence. What's happening inside of you will reflect outside of you. That just goes right there to prove my point. It's not God. It's not the devil. You're not hexed. You're not cursed. You need to gain control of your fucking mind. You need to destroy the mental programs that are shackling you and keeping your ego comfortable. Most of the time, the best thing you can fucking do is shut up those thoughts and just move forward. Because here's the thing. We like to identify with our thoughts like it's us. Your thoughts are an extension of you. They are not the whole entire you. They're a piece of you. And guess what? The best part is you can control them. You can ignore them. All right, I'll check out the message after the live. I got you, man. I respond rather quickly. When it comes to mastering your mind, mastering self, if you would like, close your eyes. Close your eyes and repeat after me. Anabakoach. Gidilat Yaminka. Tatir Desera. Kabel Renot. Amja Sahagvanu. Taharenu Nora. Nagibor Dorshe Yurka Teka. Kabat Shomrem. Bakarem, Takarem, Tamid Gamlem, Chasen Kadosh, Borav Tufka, Nahel Adateka, Yakig Ge'e, Lamcha Pane, Zokare Kadu Shiteka, Shivatanu Kabel, Ushma Tezok A Tenu, Yudia Te Alamut, Baruch Shem Kalavod, Malkuto Le'alam Va'ed. And open your eyes. It's an ancient Kabbalistic occult prayer referred to as the miracle prayer, called the Anabakoach. I'm not fucking done. I'm not fucking done. I need you to keep your eyes closed. And I want you to envision yourself in your mind. Imagine yourself in your mind, however you are, sitting down, standing up. And I want you to envision a white opal like a halo around the moon kind of color surrounding you, merging with your aura. Okay? It's going to resemble a flame or a smoke. Let it envelop your being. You're going to feel blinded, like you can't see for a second, but it feels familiar to you. Now I'm going to chant something that is ancient. It is 3 words of power from 3 different civilizations. Om Hong Jong Sa. Om Hong Jong Sa. Repeat that. We're going to say this 4 times. Om Hong Jong Sa. Om Hong Jong Sa. Om Hong Jong Sa. And you will be cleared, cleansed, blessed, and you will start to see some really good things happen in your life. Especially if you continuously meditate and envision yourself surrounded by that opalescent white. It's the white flame of the Ascended Master and the Lord of the 4th race, Erebus Bay. Most miracles can happen with the presence of the white flame. You're welcome. Now, I ain't trying to sound like Aziz Ansari, but you're gonna start having to pay me for this. Can't keep giving out no more for free, Randy. I'm not trying to be Aziz Ansari or nothing, but like, can't be giving out no more for free, Randy. You see that Cash App, man? You're gonna have to start paying me for this. You decide. I don't have a set price. You pick. You decide. It's up to you. But hey, they're gonna have to start paying me for this. Can't be giving out no more for free, Randy. It's a little inside joke if you've seen the movie Observe and Report. If you haven't, you probably don't understand what I'm saying. This is my real weed time. If you have any fucking questions, now's the time to ask them. Yes, you see the Cash App. Holla at your boy. We thought I was joking. I'm dead ass serious. Guess I was kidding. Oh my god, I know. Sometimes I don't come off very serious, but no. That's why it's there. Now I'm gonna keep rolling my weed. Questions, comments, ask away. Shoot! Don't be shy. It's alright. It's my lovely wife. What? I like your hair like that. It's natural. You don't look like Sindel or nothing. Lady Frankenstein. I enjoy it. You're very welcome. Know what I'm saying? I drop $1 at the Cash App to keep the lights on. Shit. You're very welcome. You see, we have to understand the majority of these concepts, these angels, these demons, they're actually angles of light and darkness, energies that exist inside of you. The 72 goadic demons are the 72 portions of your left brain, which are controlled by the pituitary gland under the influence of the moon. The 72 angels are the 72 portions of your right brain under the control and the dominion and influence of the pineal gland, which is influenced by the sun. So, if you're just feeding one force, your brain's going to be imbalanced. If you're just favoring one side, you don't understand or harness the principalities and power you can hold and mold by understanding and balancing the light and dark. Balancing the light and dark, being able to control the higher and lower realms, the angelic forces and the goadic demons is really hemisync. And merging and understanding the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere of your brain, and activating the oils in the pituitary gland and the pineal gland that are conducive to your inner transformation, making you the living Christ, which is why the oils are called the Cristo oil. Cristo, Christ. Oh. Bless you 3 times. So goody. Someone's talking about you. Bless you. Oh, someone's talking about you. Give me bliss. Jeez, bless you. Oh my God, 5 in a row. Whoa, someone's talking about you, pretty. Yeah. Again. And another one. I knew it. Wait. There's another one coming. There's another one coming. Yeah, we have fun here. You gotta understand. Bless you. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Some people think we're battling with flesh. Like these things are actually physical beings who can hurt you. Not realizing these are energies that exist inside of you. And if you think you're under attack, you see, the brain is a funny thing, and it'll actually release those things inside of the body. And those energies, those thoughts that you put all that emotion and mental capacity into will come around you. These are how people make magical entities all the fucking time without even realizing they're doing it. I'll give you an example. A person who has bad luck, always walking around like, just my luck. Damn, my luck is so bad. My luck is so terrible. I have terrible luck. Guess what? The more you believe that concept and you put your emotions behind that, you start saying that with conviction and authority in your reality and inside your mind, you are going to create what the Indians what's in Hinduism called a tulpa. You're going to create what the Gnostics called a demiurge, what occultists call a egregore, a magical entity that is impersonal. It's not here to attack you. The universe is no sparer of persons. It all goes off of vibration. And it was created based off of the energy you created it in. So it's only giving you what it thinks you want. It's only doing what it's been created to do. AI being, I have terrible luck. So since you believe that and said it so many times with so much convincing thought and emotion, an energy has been created around you, from you, by you, for you, of having bad luck. And people think they're cursed. People think they're hexed. People think, oh my God, it's unfortunate that God doesn't like me. No, you don't like yourself. And the more people start to believe things like that, the more the energy flows to that. And this is literally the process of how people create magical entities with strong conviction and emotional energy. How do you think kids have imaginary friends? Something so strong, only they can see and interact with it. When you were a little kid and you had your favorite toy, your rubber ducky, your favorite dolly, your favorite Barbie, that was your main one. You took baths with that shit, sleep with that shit, you play with that shit. It was real to you. It was real to you. It was alive to you because you had so much emotion behind it, making it real. And you were able to do things and see things and hear things with your toy or your doll that no one else would saw. They would just be like, oh, kids, they say the darnest things. Not realizing this is how energy works. You ever heard of the law of vibration? Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Once the energy has been created, it cannot be destroyed. It can either raise in vibration or lower in vibration. So vice versa, if you say something like, I always got money. I always get money. I'm always supported. Everyone always shows me love. Everywhere I go, I get respect. And then you actually believe that? And you have emotional conviction behind it? It's convincing when you say it to yourself and when you say it out loud? Guess what? All the energy behind that, and all the mental energy and emotional energy behind that, you know what's going to happen? It's going to create a magical entity of, I get love everywhere I go. I'm respected everywhere I go. I always have money. It's quite literally that simple because, you see, God is no taker of checks. The devil spares no person as the universe isn't personal. These things all are vibrational. They go off of energy, your state of being, your state of vibration. Your energy is going to go where you put your attention. Is it making sense yet? So if you walk around feeling inferior or lesser, telling yourself, oh, this happens because I'm white. This happens because I'm black. This wouldn't happen if I was white. This wouldn't happen if I was black. This wouldn't happen if I was Jewish. This wouldn't happen if I was Christian. Oh, this is just because I'm Christian. Oh, this is just because this is because I live in this neighborhood. Well, this is because I have money. Well, this is because I'm poor. Well, this is because I'm on food stamps. Guess what? You're creating magical entities. You're creating egregores in your life that are going to do just what you created it to do. And that's not being hexed. That's not being cursed. That's you not being aware of fucking energy. That's you not being mindful. Not understanding that nothing is separate. Not understanding that speaking is energy. Words are energy. Thoughts are energy. And thoughts become things. Because again, thought is followed by light. Light is what? Consciousness. There's 3 forms of consciousness. The beta brainwave, conscious mind. The alpha theta wave, subconscious mind. The delta wave, unconscious mind. There's 3 consciousnesses here. You have your conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind pays attention to all things, all faces, all feelings, all emotions. And every experience you go through in life, everything you learn in life is actually filtered through the ego. Because the ego is a fundamental building block of your beta brainwave conscious mind. You know, when you wake up and do things, like right now, you're actually in your beta brainwaves, which is getting filtered through the ego. And when it's filtered through the ego, you know what happens? Everything that you experience is getting based off of an experience you already had. Even if it's not the same experience. Even if it's just remotely similar or sounds even a little bit the same. Your brain, your ego on a conscious mind level is going to trick itself into being the same situation as before. And either you can reject it or you can stay open. If you stay open, guess what? You gave the baby its bottle. You think you know what's going on. You're going to keep an open ear. And all that information is going to your subconscious now. And when you go to sleep and you start having certain dreams and things start aligning and things start popping up on your social media feed about what I've been talking about on this live, it's your subconscious mind making it real. It's your subconscious mind taking the command. Because the subconscious mind is the dark matter. Your subconscious mind is the spirit. Because when you die, the only thing active until no longer remembers you, is the subconscious mind. It's starting to make sense yet? Why there's subliminal messaging, subliminal text, bass masking, so much fucking symbolism. Because even if you aren't consciously aware of it, what you're seeing or what you're hearing, your subconscious mind is going to pick up on all of these things. And it's going to go right back in the program and channel and translate. And if your mind isn't strong enough, you'll lose every time. Your mind will start to play tricks on you. You'll start to deny your own sanity based upon a belief or a thought that was given to you instead of you developing your own knowing. My name is Kasheal. It's been real. I do this shit. I'm not true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Hit my fucking Cash App, and I'll see y'all niggas later.